Yes, let us get into the next problem. That's from analog electronics, talking about practical limitation of an op-amp, known as slew rate. Shortly, we call it as SR. Okay, what is slew rate limitation of the op-amp? How we define it? Okay, so say for example, when you have a op-amp, if you want to measure slew rate, the best configuration for measuring slew rate is put your op-amp in voltage follower mode. Your op-amp in voltage follower mode. Yes. So then feed a square wave input. Since it's a buffer, okay, so you're expecting the output as a square, okay, same as your input, but unfortunately the op-amp is suffering due to the slew rate means, and you are giving input as a square. Unfortunately, the output is not going to be the square. So what you can do practically means reduce. Okay, so that means keep on increasing the frequency of the supply. Then you will start, okay, noting the output becoming a perfect triangular wave. The output becoming a perfect triangular wave. That means output will get distorted, means that the slew rate is coming into the play. Okay, so because op-amp knows only one thing, so what the slew rate is talking about means slew rate is nothing but at what rate op-amp can change its output in a given time. It is nothing but dV naught by dt. Okay, so at what rate op-amp can change its output in a given time means, say for example, slew rate is given as 1 volt per microsecond, means that's a typical spec. 1 volt per microsecond means, so otherwise sometimes people will say 10^6 volt per second also, the same data they will pursue. That means op-amp cannot raise the output by 10^6 volt because the biasing itself is going to be plus 10 minus 10 or plus 15 minus 15 or plus 12 minus 12. Okay, that's a excitation to the op-amp. So therefore 10^6 is not realistic and this is the realistic. Okay, so even though data given this way, to surprise you, you have to play like this. So it means that if you give a space of 1 microsecond, op-amp can change its output by 1 volt. So it's not the restriction on the input, it is how the output is going to change. Okay, how the op-amp is going to change your output. That's what given by the parameter, the AC limitation of the op-amp known as slew rate. Okay, so it's dV naught by dt. Suppose yes, he said something there. Okay, it's a slew rate is dV naught by dt. It is nothing but fundamentally change in V naught for the given time. Okay, time space. Say for example, so if this is the wave, if it is going from -2 to +2 means, so what the voltage change? 4 volt is the change. Suppose if it is having a slew rate of 1 volt per microsecond, and this is possible in a time space of how much change? 4 volt change. Okay, 1 volt change demands 1 microsecond means 4 volt change will demand how many? 4 microsecond, then only it is possible. So it's like a ramp. Okay, slope of that ramp is nothing but your slew rate. Slope of your output ramp is nothing but your slew rate. So this is for the square input, but you want to make the statement for universal, maybe for the AC signal also. So is it possible to conclude the problem with this data alone means? Yes, what are the options given? Slew rate, V in by VT. No, it's not with respect to the V in. So A and B are eliminated. So then it is output, sorry, C option and D option talking about output change, dV naught with respect to time. It's a max or minimum means, in fact, that's a max. How to conclude this? Say, for example, if the input is a sinusoidal one, Vn of t that is equal to Vm sine omega t, you will get. Then for a sinusoidal, how we put this limitation means, then V naught of t, since it is a buffer, it is also going to be, suppose assume it is instead of a buffer, it is an amplifier. Assume I have R2 and then I have R1. I'm configuring the buffer as a non-inverting amplifier. This is going to have a gain of A, that is 1 plus R2 by R1. So then what is your output? Output is going to become A into Vm sine omega t. That is your output. So you are giving an input with an amplitude of Vm, and output amplitude is going to be what? AVM. So what does exactly the slew rate means? It's nothing but d by dt of your V naught. So you have to do this. Then you will get d by dt of this means, so you'll get AVM into sine omega t differentiated with respect to time means you'll get AVM into omega into cos omega t you will get. So what is getting connected to the slew rate means So the entire thing is not equal to the sleeve rate. So it is anyway the function, but what we take is only the max. So we take only the max. Max means what? Max of this. What is the max of this? AVM into omega is the max of this. But anyway, problem is not connected to this. Okay, assuming it's sinusoidal, what we are looking for is maximum only. So it's not the minimum. So the best possible answer is option C. 1 minute. So dV naught by dt maximum is always equal to the sleeve rate of the op amp, practical limitation of the op amp. So swinging capability of the op amp defined by sleeve rate. Okay. That's another easy problem from analog electronics. That's easy. So those who know instantly will connect. Okay. May have a small doubt whether it is minimum or maximum. So play like this. Okay. You will never commit such a mistake. Okay. And there is no negative markings in the paper, but still, okay, you should score in the given opportunity. That's very important. Next problem. That belong to max, that belong to controls, that belong to SS also. Okay, find them. The frequency response of an linear time invariant system characterized by the differential equation, ordinary differential equation, second order ODE is given. Very simple, find the transfer function. So here in signals and systems terminology, we call transfer function as H of S. Because it's impulse response, we call it as H of T. So Laplace of impulse only, we call it as H of S. The moment he is using H, I'll feel it is like a signals and systems problem. There is nothing but transfer function. Go for the transfer function. Apply Laplace. Applying the Laplace, you can find the transfer function. Yes, what is that? So Laplace means you have to have zero initial conditions. Remember that. So application of Laplace for the entire equation will result in a square into y of s plus 4s into y of s plus 3 into y of s is equal to s into x of s plus 2 times x of s you will get. So the transfer function becomes a square plus 4s plus 3. So take y of s common. That's very simple problem. Then you'll get s plus 2 into x of s. Okay. Then you can find the transfer function y of s by x of s, resulting in s plus 2 divided by s square plus 4s plus 3. Okay. In the examination perspective, this is your h of s set as equal to j omega. So setting as equal to j omega, you will get the desired result. Okay. So h of j omega becomes, what is the numerator? So j omega plus 2 you will get. Denominator will be, it is 3 s equal to j omega is going to become minus omega square, but check how the options are created. We just substituted s equal to j omega, then the problem is over. So j omega plus 2 is the numerator. So you made just j omega the whole square, even it didn't square it. So then plus 4 j omega plus 3. So that's your answer option. That's very instant. Okay. Just you should know how to play with the Laplace identity, then it is instant. So the correct answer is h of j omega is calling shortly as h of omega. Okay, so that's option B is your answer. Okay, so I thought he's going for this expansion. Then suppose given expanded one, that means after applying your square for that, it will result in j omega by 2. If he is going for one more step, the answer will be like this. This is your real 3 minus omega square and plus imaginary will be j for omega. Like that, it may be given. That's what I expected, but it's not going for that step also. So that's a very simple problem. Okay. Go to spoon feed yourself just by setting s equal to j omega after getting the transfer function. That's very simple. Comparing to the last one. Okay, last one also very simple. That's from analog. This is from controls. Next one from digital. Yes. What's given? So you need to calculate or find the simplified expression, Boolean expression. So what simplified expression? Simplified sum of products expression. By seeing the options, I conclude result is in sum of products. Okay, so what is given? It's a 4 variable function, w, x, y, z. Okay, then straight away proceed with the K-map. A 4 variable K-map. solving for a function f which is function of w x y z. Let me take wx here and yz. Follow the K-map logic. So we have 16 boxes to cover 16 possible combinations. 0 0 0 1, only one bit change allowed. So then 1 1 1 0, then 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. Yes, cover the combinations. So first box is 0 box, 1 3, like that it goes. Okay, yes, fill the boxes corresponding to the input combination. So 0, it is 1. F is 1 for what? F is equal to, it is min term 0. It is actually sum of min terms. Okay, it is sum of min terms. Sum of min term, that's a formal way. Okay, so it's covering 0 1 2 4 5 6 8 9 12 13 and 14. Let me write it once again so that I will fill them correct. 0 box is 1, 1 box is 1, then 3 is 0, 2 is 1. Okay, then 4 is 1, 0 1 0 0 is 4, 0 1 0 1 is 5, and 0 1 1 0 is 6. It is 1, 8, it's 1 triple 0 is 8, 1 0 0 1 is 9, 12, it's 1 1 12. So 10 is 1 0 1 0, it is 10, 11 is 1 0 1 1, 12 is 1 1 0 0. So 12 is 1 1 0 means here. So 12 is there, right? Yes, 8 9, after that 12 13 1 1 0 1. Okay, so 13 will be 1 1 0 1. That's a corresponding binary equivalent combination. Yes, rest of them will be 0. So let me check once. Okay, so how many zeros? 6 zeros. How many combinations covered? So out of 16 combinations, so what is covered? 0 to 5, leaving 3, so it's 5. So 5 5 1 minute. 0 1 2 3 4 5. So total how many ones? So okay, so that means 6 zeros are there, means 10 ones are covered, means how many combinations? 0 1 2 4 5 is 5 6 8 9. So this is 5 combinations. So something I missed. So 0 to 5 is 5, 6 to yes. So 11 combinations I need to cover. Which one? I missed 8 9 12 13 14 is there, right? Okay, who's 14? 14 is 1 1 1 0. Yes, that's it. That is also 1. That's all. Okay. So 1 1 1 0 is 14. So 8 9 12 13. So the 14 is there. Okay. So about to commit a small mistake because of this. Okay. That's all. You can answer the problem. So minimize 1 octal. You can go with 1 octal. This 1 octal will give, that's a essential prime implicant. Yes, what is this 1 octal? So Wx will be eliminated. Who is not changing? Y is not changing. So Y bar. So F will have the essential prime implicant Y bar, octal prime implicant. So Y bar or Y dash. Okay, that means B is eliminated from the race. D is also B eliminated, D eliminated. Okay, so because they have Y, what we have is Y bar. Okay, so yes, then let me go for the next step. Okay, so definitely it's not making the pair because he has eliminated 2 variables, so he's going to make only quads. Let me go for this quad. Okay, so this quad. So what is this quad? This quad will be what is getting eliminated. Y is getting eliminated, so I get Z bar. Along with that, who else getting eliminated? X is eliminated, so W bar. So W bar, Z bar. W bar, Z bar is there in both options. Is not allowing me to complete the problem. Then let me go for the final quad that will conclude the problem. The final quad will be this quad. Okay, so let me, this two and this two will be the final quad. Yes, what is this final quad? So what is not changing? X is not changing. So it is X. Okay. So then who is not changing? Z is not changing. So it's X Z bar. Therefore, the result is Y bar plus W bar Z bar plus X Z bar. That's your answer. Option C is the correct answer. Easy. That's a very easy problem. Yes. So interesting, simple problems. Okay. One from analog, one from controls or ACES, one from digital. Okay. Yes. Let me conclude this session now. Okay. So thank you. So we'll update you with one more video.